Today, we're going to talk about some property tax. Hey, everybody, live on YouTube. Welcome. Hope you guys all had a great day. Today, our main topic is going to be about the property tax, but we got a few things to talk about before we get to the property tax situation. Just get rolling. Wait a minute. I got to give myself a thumbs up because I'm absolutely positive I'm going to like the program today. I want to thank all you guys that have been watching my videos and sharing my videos and subscribing to my channel. Thanks to you guys, we are looking really good. And I'm going to do a screen share and show you. So, well, this is the first thing I wanted to put up, and I'm going to probably put this up every time I do a video or a live stream. This is the case law that I use when these people get in my face and try to tell me that I'm engaged in the unauthorized practice of law without a license. This case law right here is Swear versus Board of Examiners. Swear versus Board of Examiners is from the Supreme Court, and it says that the practice of law cannot be licensed by any state in lowercase and state in higher case. So that means attorneys don't have no license. So when the court's holding you to the standard of a licensed attorney, they're actually holding you to a higher standard than they're holding the attorney, because attorneys don't have a license. This is important for all of you guys that want to help other people. This is the shit right here. You need to have this posted in your site, in your file, so you can pull it up anytime you need to use it. Copy and paste it and stick it in their face. Welcome to Advocates with Justice Foreclosure Defense Paralegal Service. We are different and we prove it. Now, I always want to talk about the number one mistake that homeowners make in foreclosure defense. That's one of the things that I always want to talk about every time I get to talk, every time I have people that want to listen. And I'm hoping that when I start this, you guys will be able to just kind of lip sing along with me, because I'll have said it enough and you remember. The number one mistake most homeowners make in foreclosure defense is they do not have the person that actually initiated the foreclosure against their property. They do not have that person listed on their lawsuit anyplace. And the number one person that we're talking about is the only person that signed the foreclosure documents against your house. And if you check, if you don't know whose signature is on that petition or claim, you need to check. And while you're checking, I'll tell you right now, it's the attorney. The attorney is the only signature on the documents that's used to initiate the foreclosure against your property for both judicial and non-judicial foreclosure. In a judicial foreclosure, the attorney is the only person that signed the notice, that signed the petition. And in non-judicial foreclosure, it's a notice of default letter. It's always signed by the attorney and not the trustee. And that's a fatal flaw right there, because they're lying to the court. And that's part of what they do. They try to convince the court that they're actually working on behalf of the lender. And now we're getting into the fake crap, okay? Because they ain't working for the lender. So that's fake shit. They're not working for the lender. They're working on behalf of their own law firm. They're working on behalf of themselves, what they're doing. Did you guys know, and we're going to get to the property tax thing, but these things we need to cover. And then when we get to the property tax thing and get to the end of the property tax thing, you understand why we're covering this stuff. This is the front page of the Eliminate Property Tax lawsuit. And that's what we're going to talk about next. But I just want to show you guys this so you can see it. Because, you know, I have people ask me all the time when the Eliminate Property Tax lawsuit comes, well, how many have you won? And how many know? Well, you know what? First of all, there is no law that mandates that you have to file your deed in their office. So it's not about winning. It's about you standing up for your rights and forcing them to do the right thing. Now, most people have no idea that you're in an administrative court and that the court is not connected to the Constitution. Today, we're going to learn the truth about property taxes. Are you consenting to paying property taxes? Are property taxes legal? What triggers property tax collection? And how can you fight back? I think the number one question for me when people are concerned about how many wins and how this works or whatever. The question that comes to mind to me is there's no law that forces homeowners to register the deed to their property in their attorney's office. There's no law that forces you to register the deed to your property in their office. So are you sure you're not consenting to property taxes? And yes, they are unlawful. And the Constitution mandates that taxes on private property is unlawful in not one but two different places. The attorneys are actually conspiring to commit real estate deed fraud. And I'll explain to you how that works. And like I say all the time, I don't want you guys to take my word for it. I want you to do your own homework and see if I'm correct. So each state has a real estate deed law, and the deed laws mandate that the deed is supposed to be delivered to the new property owner. But your deed didn't get delivered to you, did it? No. What the attorneys do is what they call the constructive delivery. And instead of delivering the deed to you, they take it down and record it in the county recorder's office or the recorder of records office or wherever they do. They don't give it to you. That we know. And once that deed is recorded, that triggers property tax, zone and coding enforcement. Yes. But the most important thing is that once that deed is recorded, corporations are able to put liens against your property. Yep, like the fake mortgage lien that they put against your property. Yeah. So when that deed is recorded, then the lenders can come in, the attorneys for the lenders will come in, and they can put the mortgage lien against your property. Remember, I told you in the beginning that the alleged loan for the mortgage that they're charging you for was created with your own signature. And all the attorneys did was act as an exchanger, and they turned your promissory note into a security, like a check. That's when they stamp pay to the order of on it and process it through the Federal Reserve. And you could have done that yourself. Yeah, it's bad what they do. The real estate transfer laws mandate that the deed is supposed to be delivered, but it never is. People don't know that there is a secret lien on all property bought with Federal Reserve notes. So I was doing some research one day, and this guy paid for his property with gold coins. And once he paid with gold coins, they had to remove him from the thing because he didn't pay the Federal Reserve note. If you're not an inhabitant, resident, or of Washington, D.C., and are not an officer, member, agent, or contractor for the United States of America, Inc., then you cannot under any circumstances be contracted or incorporated as such under force, intimidation, coercion, threat, or duress, or without your knowledge and free will consent, or without due process of law. You cannot be compelled to give up your property or none of your stuff without. And the thing is, property tax is unlawful. How they get around that is they reclassify your property because they're not allowed to tax private property. So once they register your property in their office, they reclassify it as residential, industrial, or residential, agriculture, or industrial, or commercial. And people don't realize that residential actually means it's a property that a government official lives on. Private property can't be taxed. So they have this slick way of reclassifying your property, and then they start taxing you. And when you contact the tax assessor's office, they will either explain to you that he cannot tax property unless it's classified pursuant to the constitutional limitations, i.e. residential, industrial, or commercial. Yeah, that's the lie that they tell you. Back to the fake shit. Well, that's what we're talking about, Peter. I'm gonna show you how you go about doing it. Now, there's a couple of ways. Well, one way people do it is to get yourself off to judicial. So Tuan, send me an email and put in a jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. And then when I get done, and I'll check it and I'll send you over. I have a new jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit that people have been using in judicial foreclosures. And this document is 7-0. Well, excuse me, it's 6-1. And that one, the person didn't follow the instructions like they were supposed to. So, and we're hoping to get that straightened out right now. So yeah, Tuan, there's some new stuff that we got going on right now. And this jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit would be perfect for you to help you get your foot back in the door. So this is what my course looks like. So I'll have a paralegal school, and in the paralegal school, eventually I'm going to have a course on how to the ultimate guide to filing your wrongful foreclosure lawsuit for judicial wrongful foreclosure, and also for non-judicial wrongful foreclosure. I'm going to have a course for credit card debt collection defense. If the credit card company's suing you or garnishing your wages, we're going to have several courses. But this one, we're going to take a look at it. Let's head over to the judicial wrongful foreclosure lawsuit, DYI. It's half price right now at $1,200, and it has everything that you need. Everything that I have in my inventory is included in this course. So you can see here, and I'll just kind of scroll this down a little bit so you guys can check it out. And this is the course curriculum. And the course curriculum consists of videos and lectures and resources, tips and strategies, conventional foreclosure defense versus non-conventional foreclosure defense. That's really important because most people don't understand. They'll call me and they don't understand why I don't need to hear everything about their case that started in 2009. And the reason is because that's not what we talk about. If you roll with me, we're not going into court talking about what they said you did or didn't do. Okay, that's not what we talk about in court. What we're going to talk about in court is the fraud that put you in the position that you're in right now. That's what we're going to be talking about when we go to court. And then you see all the other things here, setting yourself up for your appeal in the beginning of your lawsuit. And we talked about that earlier, about jamming up the attorney and forcing. Basically, what I'm going to teach you how to do is use their own rules against them. You're going to use their own rules against them, and then you're going to have to make them violate those rules, and then we're going to jam them up for that. Now, the documents here, I have them listed, but you're not going to necessarily file them in this order. The first one or two documents, well, the first set of documents is going to be the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit that you'll be filing in state court to blow that case up before you file your case in federal court. And they'll also give you a little bit of time. It's like putting you out on a 50-yard line. Now you can throw some balls into the end zone. So that's what we're going to do with that. I just numbered these because I wanted them to be in order. So don't get wrapped up in trying to file them in the order that they're numbered, because that's not going to be the way it goes. And I'm also going to make a change here later tonight. I had it set up to where you had to go through each one before you can get to the next one. But I'm going to change that because a few people have suggested that it would be better if they were able to see more stuff without having to go through the steps. At the end of the day, the instructions are all there. And if you follow the instructions, whether you go through the steps, each one, whether you learn the stuff in succession or not, as long as you follow the instructions, you should be fine. Now, I added a second chapter to this course, and it's reclaiming your state citizenship. I added a cease and desist letter that you can use after you have reclaimed your state citizenship and you have verification, or you fill out the affidavit of state citizenship. If you get third-party debt collectors sending you crap, you can send the cease and desist letter along with a copy of your state citizenship verification. And the other thing that we're going to start doing is before you file your stuff in court, I'm going to suggest that you get it on the public record. File it on the public. And I know it's an extra step, but it's a quality extra step. Because after doing the work that I did on the merit dissolution document, I found out that placing stuff in the public record bears more weight than the statutory BS. So the goal here is to get your documents, to place your documents in the public record and have it stamped that it's in the public record before you file it in court. Because once it's on the public record, it's in common law jurisdiction. And I think that will make a big difference in the attitude that the court has in their attempts to kick you out and violate you if you've already got your stuff on the public record in common law jurisdiction. So I think that's going to make a difference. And the other section that I added was this section here with the how to sue your attorney, your ex-attorney. So people have to remember that the attorneys are the one that structured the program that we have now. And it's not structured to help us. And the legal malpractice, to prove damages, you almost have to have a lot of people die. That's how they have it set up. So what we're doing is we're not going in for damages. You're going in to prove, you're going in legal malpractice, breach of contract. And instead of going after damages, you're going after your attorney fees. Because if they breach the contract, you should get your attorney fees back. So that's what this is set up for. So I added that free because I want people, you can go after the attorney fees to get the funding back that you paid to join the course. That's the way that works. And here's just a little bit about me. Not a lot, because you don't need a lot. You guys didn't come here to learn about me. Y'all came here to save your property. And this online course would be perfect for people who have investors who have real properties, because what they're doing to us now, a lot of people lost their jobs. And so it's going to be up to you guys to protect your properties yourself. And instead of, you can't go after the renters if they don't have a job and they can't pay. So now you're going to have to step up and learn how to protect your property yourself. And that's what this course is all about. It has everything in it that I have in my inventory that you would need. And these are some of the people that, so Joyce, she joined, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months ago. This is Sue and Jay Boyer. They're out of Texas. And they were among the first group of people that joined my program last October, I want to say, and they filed their wrongful foreclosure lawsuit and done all the paperwork, and they're still in their house today. And not only are they still in the house, the original attorney book just skated out the back door, and the judge retired. Now, I didn't know if the judge's retirement had anything to do with this or not, but she said the judge retired, and the new attorneys have not responded or answered, so they're moving for default. And all of these people are in the group. Shamel Maxwell, she's a fighter. She is a fighter. She's the 3-point shooter, and she used her documents to save her dad's property, and she's all over them. She ain't playing. And I have a lot of respect for her, because that girl is a fighter. She is not playing. And her dad, they blocked this. I think it was 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, maybe, or 2 months ago, that she actually stopped the sale of her dad's house. And these people are in their face, and I love it. So let's go back and see if you guys have any more questions. Okay. And I'm also going to put a link in here to the product page that that the eliminated property tax package is on. So if anybody's interested in, I have a radio show every Wednesday on HamiltonRadio.net. And this past Wednesday, we talked about the lawsuit package. And I dropped the price on the lawsuit package down to $350 from $500 to give the listeners a break and to let the radio station know how much I appreciate them allowing me to communicate with all of their 55 million listeners. So the lawsuit package now has been reduced from $550 to $350. I took $200 off, and I'm going to leave it that way until the middle of next week, probably Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. And that way I can give everybody, you guys will have a chance to take advantage of that package if you're interested in it as well. And I need to mention it in the Facebook group. I haven't mentioned it in the Facebook group. I just now thought about it. So if you are facing a property tax issue or you're tired of paying property tax, then I would suggest that you invest that $350 and get in their face. And I have a couple of people in the group that have used it. I got one really, really nice Google review. And if you use property tax, I would love it if you could leave me a review. And the review is pretty much stating that the documents that you got have value and you're pleased with them, and you can always follow up later. So what we're finding later is Sarah, she left me the review on the property tax package, and I called her a few months later, and she told me that she couldn't discuss it with me, but she loved me and my stuff was badass, and she hung up. And later on at the end of the day, it dawned on me, basically what she was saying was that they made some kind of a settlement with her. This is my opinion, and she couldn't discuss it with me. And we already know that attorneys, when they lose, they make you sign something saying that you're not going to tell anybody. You're going to keep your mouth shut because they don't want other people to know. And that's just one of the ways how they try to keep control of everything. All the people who sit around waiting for somebody to win or whatever are going to be in the back of the line, because the people to win means the judge is going to give you everything. That's not what happens. Okay, what I'm going to help you learn how to do is make the attorney go sit the hell down. That's what I'm going to help you learn how to do. So this is the video for the property tax instruction video, the instructional video for the property tax lawsuit package. And I'm just going to move it up to where I'm talking about the documents. Maybe. Okay, here we go. So the first document in the eliminated property tax lawsuit video is the notice of claim letter. And the notice of claim letter is actually the lawsuit. It's just the information from the lawsuit put in this notice of claim letter. And my notice of claims, I like to have the claim so people can see what you're going to bring to the table and what you're about to do. Because just giving them a notice of claim on the paper for whatever don't work for me. My goal is to make them not want you in court. So you need to show them everything you're going to be bringing to the table. And that's what we're doing with the notice of claim letter. Now, you'll get the notice of claim letter both in this fancy letterhead, and it'll also be on, in a Word format. And the reason I put it in a Word format is so that you can take it and paste it in a letterhead on your computer. Because when you do these letterheads, it has certain fields, and if you don't know where the fields are, you can get it all jacked up. So I sent it to you so you can see what it looks like, all professional and nice. And then you'll have it in a Word, so you can copy and paste it in the fields and whatever from your own computer. And we looked at this already. I don't show the whole thing because, then I don't want, you guys need to make your investment if you want to see the rest of it. And this is the affidavit of Jane Doe, and your name would be in place of Jane Doe. And you also have the United States of America affidavit, state citizenship in the package. And this is your demand to strike the plaintiff's notice of appearance when the attorney signs on to represent the law firm that he works for or she works for. And you'll use that. Now, no one's had to use any of these so far that I'm aware of, but I have them in there just in case. And this is the civil cover sheet notes, the cheat sheet to help you fill out the civil cover sheet. And you can see these numbers here are reference to the numbers on the sheet, and this is the answer that you would put in it. Now, one of the things that you guys need to understand, when you file your lawsuit in federal courts will try to get out of taking it. They'll try hard to get out of hearing your lawsuit because they don't want all the state crap in their face. The number one reason why federal court has jurisdiction to hear your lawsuit is because state court does not have jurisdiction to hear the lawsuit that the attorneys filed, because the attorneys are considered a foreign agent. And as such, they must file in federal court. That would be like someone from another country, from England, suing you in state court. That's not the way it rolls. If you're suing somebody in another state, it's done in federal court. So these attorneys shouldn't have even filed the lawsuit in state court in the first place. And that's what you tell them in federal court. Hey, this got moved here because the plaintiffs are foreign agents, and they have to file in state court, in federal court. They can't file in state court. They do all the time because nobody holds their feet to the fire like we're going to be doing. So that's pretty much it on that. You guys can go to the website. Now, when you go to my YouTube channel, you got to remember that things are separated into playlists. So I have a playlist for instructional videos for the lawsuit packages. I have a playlist for tips and strategies for using it in court. I have a playlist for eliminating property taxes. And I think I have like 17 videos in that playlist. So that's the best way to figure out what you want to look at. And remember, the first part of the title in the video on YouTube is what I use so YouTube can rank my videos and show them. The second part of the title is more specific about what you're going to be learning when you watch the video. So let's go back and see if anybody has any questions. And we're going to end that. We're going to close that. Okay. So questions. Tim Birdie says 100. And Rosie says, great job. Thank you, Rosie. I gave myself a thumbs up at the beginning of this because I knew that I was going to do a good job. I knew I was going to be happy. Okay, guys, that's all I got for tonight. I'm going to try to be on here every Saturday night on YouTube, and I'm going to try to be on